Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman, coming to you from Low Country Produce. I'm joined this afternoon by Major Bryan Tatterson from the Salvation Army. Welcome, Bryan.
Well, thank you.
I'm really happy to have you back on the show. Obviously, this is a time of the year that everybody connects with the Salvation Army and the ringing of the bell and those stations that we see all across Beaufort, Bluffton, Hilton Head, wherever you may live. And so start off by giving us a little bit of the origin of the ringing of the bell and the kettles for us.
It started in San Francisco in 1891. A Salvation Army captain by the name of Joseph McPhee, he wanted to feed 1,000 poor people at Christmas, and he couldn't figure out how to do it, and he laid in bed sleeping about, trying to sleep at night.
Tossing and turning.
And he remembered back when he was a sailor. He came from England, and when he was a sailor over in Liverpool area, one time there was some people out with a little black pot trying to collect money to help the poor. So he decided to use that method. It put out a pot and a sign that said, "Keep stirring the pot," and rang a bell, and he was able to feed 1,000 people who otherwise wouldn't have had a nice Christmas dinner.
So he was successful. He set a goal and found a way to do it.
And within 6 years, it spread across the whole United States, and we've never missed a year doing it since then.
Right, and so from feeding 1,000 people to what you're able to do now, not only at Christmas time, but what the Salvation Army can do through the entire year. You know, when you don't hear that bell ringing and you don't see that kettle, people forget. But tell us a little bit about the services that you're able to provide at Christmas and then throughout the year for people in need.
Well, at Christmas we're able to provide toys for children, which I'm very proud of. You know, we believe a child should be able. When I was a child, I liked to open up a package at Christmas and have a football or a toy truck or something.
Yeah.
I know the value of a sweater, but still at that age, and so we like to be able to help families provide a toy for their child and
have that joy on Christmas morning.
Right, and of course they don't need to tell the child where the toy came from.
No.
Hopefully later on in life they will. A lot of people later on in life learn that, and so we have the services we provide at Christmas: toys and clothing and food for families. But Christmas is our biggest annual fundraiser, and you know, whenever May, June, and July come, sometimes funding dries out. So we try to raise a lot of money at Christmas so that we can provide not only Christmas services, which is very expensive, but also to have some to help us whenever things dry up a little bit in the warmer months.
I understand. Yeah, it's like that in almost any nonprofit. You know, you've got to be able to collect that money and get those donations when you can,
right,
to provide services year-round for those people in need. How do you assist families who are in need of who have financial needs?
Well, we help with our primary help is with utilities, and people come to us with a utility cutoff notice, and we're able to help them keep their utilities on. And now we don't give the direct financial assistance to the family, but we'll work together with their utility company vendor, and then that way we are able to pay directly to the vendor, and we guarantee we're not going to do it unless we know it's going to keep their utilities on. And so sometimes we're able to help them with the utility cost, and then also we have a beautiful family store, so we can help a family with the utility cost, maybe help them a little bit with clothes and food. So as a lot of families, we'll just partner with them. We'll help them, and then they're able to take care of the rest of the bill.
Yeah.
So.
I know there's a lot of people out there in need, and some of those things are basic things that we all take for granted, like keeping the lights on, having hot water, being able to cook on the stove. So I just want to wrap up by talking briefly with you about, I know that you've been affected by a fire in your Bluffton family store recently. How can people help right now so they can keep those services up and running for people in Beaufort, Bluffton, and in Hilton Head?
Well, we're blessed in Beaufort to have a huge store on Boundary Street, 164 not Boundary Street. It used to be on Boundary Street, now on Robert Smalls, 164 Robert Smalls. It is huge. We are able to serve anybody from the Low Country because of that
Wonderful.
store. So
that's where you're taking donations now, is at the new location on Robert Smalls here in Beaufort. So if people are out there and they're interested in contributing to the Salvation Army this time of year or any time of year for those families in need, please go ahead and make that contribution. Bryan, thank you so much for being a guest, sharing the story of the bells and how we can continue to help those in need in Beaufort County.
Well, thank you very much. My pleasure indeed.
We'll be right back with our next guest on North of the Broad.